What's going on, guys? Virtual Stealth here. Man, oh man, the world is going crazy. Basically what happened was Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion, and Oculus is a company or whatever organization. I'm not sure what's the technical term, but they bought a company that is producing the Oculus Rift. Now, if you don't know what the Oculus Rift is, it's basically a pair of glasses. Some people call it a headset. I think the PlayStation version, it's not the same thing. It's hard to describe it. Pretty much it's like a headset because you wear it on your head, and most of the time they come with audio too, because like if you think about it, the Oculus Rift is supposed to take up your TV. Basically what it is, it's a pair of glasses you put on your face, obviously, because that's where glasses go, and you are pretty much, the only thing in your eyesight is the game or whatever you're looking at. I don't know why you would watch a movie like that. Unless they started making first-person movies, you know, that would be pretty cool in my opinion. But it's obviously meant for video games, and there are a bunch of products being produced right now, being kickstarted for virtual reality. It's not just Kinect, it's not just 3D. Kinect and 3D barely scratch the surface on virtual reality. I don't know too much about the products out there because there are a ton of different products out there that are being developed, and they're all just fighting each other to see who was at the top. And at the top at the time was Oculus Rift, or the product name was Oculus Rift. I believe the company was just Oculus. So pretty much Facebook acquired that company, and now everyone is going crazy, and for a good reason. Like, it's a big company, and not to mention it's Facebook, you know. So people are canceling pre-orders. People are like, screw this, can I get my money back? Obviously you can't get your money back because it was funded through Kickstarter, and people are just feel betrayed, and I can see why. Pretty much, it's like I said, it's Facebook. I don't know what Mark Zuckerberg said in any interviews or something like that, or if he's released any statements, but honestly it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what they say. You know, they can say, oh, we're gonna make it 20 times better, we're gonna test it a lot more times, we're gonna put a bunch of funding into it, but companies and politicians and people can just say anything and do another thing. So I wouldn't keep my hopes up. I wouldn't take their word for it. We're just gonna have to wait and see. I really doubt that they'll put more funding into it. There's only two ways it can go. You can either put more funding into it, make it a great product so it sells a lot, and maybe you can kind of have a monopoly on it, because like if your product's really that good, it should be like an almost natural monopoly. Like, you shouldn't even have to kill out the competition because your product should just kill everything else. Like, if it's that good, that should happen, but I don't see that happening. Even if that does happen, like, even if the product is really good, if it's really that good, there has to be a ton of research and development on it, and research and development is freaking expensive. So I don't see a monopoly coming out of the virtual reality equipment. You know, if it's really that good, it's going to be really expensive, and obviously not everyone's going to buy it. So then there's going to be cheaper products that are not as good or as well built, kind of like headsets, gaming headsets, even though gaming headsets aren't even that good in the first place. But there's different tiers, and then for people to buy, obviously you can't just have one. It can go that way, which is really, it would take a miracle for it to go that way, or it could go the way we're expecting it to go, where they're just gonna squash everything. They're gonna dumb everything down. The only goal in mind is going to be to make as much money as possible and spend as least money as much spend almost no money doing it. And it makes sense, obviously. You spent $2 billion. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that? So pretty much, I think we're kind of screwed. It'll still be, I don't even want to say a decent product, because to be honest, the Oculus Rift in the first place, I'm not sure how good it was in the first place, you know. So now, because it's new technology, well, it's arguably new technology. You can argue that it's old technology, but I'm not really sure what I would consider myself, because honestly I don't really know much about the Oculus Rift. I know the concept of it. I've seen a couple videos of it, like on Team Fortress 2, like some demos and stuff like that, and it's pretty cool. But I don't see it getting any better than it is right now with Facebook. I don't think they'll supply enough money for people, for their development team, to make it better. They're just gonna spend money on advertising or marketing, and just making the product like really sell well. And I don't know what their focus is gonna be with games. Like, people joke about like Farmville and stuff. Like, yeah, they're just gonna focus on mobile games, and that doesn't really make sense to me. But now that I think about it, they might come out with two products. They'll probably come out with a really expensive product for gaming, for your Xbox or your PlayStation, and then they'll come out with a smaller, air quotes, light version of it for your personal use, which, I mean, technically it is personal use, but I mean for like on the go stuff. Like if you're on the bus, you could just put your Oculus on, and then you'll be able to see whatever's on your phone right in front of your face, so nobody else can see it. I think that's how it's gonna go. Don't quote me on it, but that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm Virtual Stealth, and I'm out.